Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back. Once again, another reaction for you guys. Today, guys, of course, we are continuing the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. This is Season 2, Episode 14. I really like this title. Behold the Vision. Just like with the last episode title, Along Came a Spider. Pretty much tells you who's showing up. Vision is coming to Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and this is pretty freaking awesome. I mean, as of right now, as I'm recording this episode, WandaVision, the first MCU show, is launching on Disney Plus as well, so it's kind of cool to see their version of Vision for this show. And just like last episode, in terms of introducing Spider-Man, I have high hopes for introducing Vision because he's a fantastic character. There's a lot of layers to the character, and I'm curious to see what they do with him because I really enjoyed how in the last episode they introduced Peter Parker, Spider-Man, J. Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle, all that kind of stuff, and how it all tied into the events after the events, of course, of Secret Invasion, which I'm curious to see how they're going to introduce Vision into the mix of the show after the events of the Skrulls and everything like that in terms of what's happening, because they relied heavily on the last episode of Cap not necessarily trying to recover and try to, you know, save his name. He's like, I don't care what people say. I don't care what they think of me. I know what I did. I know what I didn't do. I'm not going to fight back against this. I'm going to continue to save lives, and I know the truth. And the thing is, the whole thing with them being underground and what really happened underground in terms of saving those people from the Serpent Society, and then the Daily Bugle, I think it was the Daily Bugle, said that this is what happened and all that stuff, and you know, it's like, no, we know the truth. Spider-Man saved those people. Cap helped, of course, but the way they spun it or whatever, and Cap told Peter, hey, we know what happened. So in terms of this, I'm curious if, like, Vision shows up and he knows the information. Does he, like, I have a lot of questions. I don't know what they're going to do here, but I'm really excited because everything unfolding after the events of Invasion, there's a lot of things they can do in terms of what Skrull Cap said and everything, and leading up to that. So, yeah, let's get into it now and see what they do with the Vision for Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's what I meant to say. I'm having a long day today. It's been a long day. But anyways, let's get into it now, guys, and see what they do with this episode. Behold the Vision. Let's go.
We are under attack. This is the Professor. Team 1, hold position inside the spillway.
Professor.
Team 2, lock.
Is that him? There he is.
Priority objective obtained. Adamantium. Proceeding to next objective.
What?
Avengers Mansion.
Weapon X.
And there came that shield and I have been through a lot. And honestly, it's one of the few things I have left. That and the Avengers.
That connection.
Which I think it's safe for me to say that the Skrull invasion hit us all pretty hard.
True.
Tony is just working through some of his issues.
I will repair your shield as a gesture to a friend. But that is as far as it goes.
Oh, that was a good trick, Vision. Good job.
Nobody breaks into Avengers Mansion and gets away with it.
Time has expired.
Expired.
I like the dialogue that Vision has.
Obtain Captain America's shield. In progress. Obtain vibranium.
It's like literally a computer. He's a computer.
The vibranium in your shield came from these very mines. My father sent it as a gift to President Roosevelt many years ago. And we have full knowledge. Impressive. Modern science has many innovations that cannot be found anywhere else in the world. Or worlds, as the case may be.
Worlds.
Yeah,
Because now we know.
Some of the scenery is certainly impressive. But why are we out here in this I got to thinking, I'd make a good king, because I stand by
He's an idiot. Don't do
I don't
this.
just cut and run
Don't
at
do
the first
this.
sign of so I guess that makes me.
I love that. Just like, get out of here.
It is empty.
No?
There's no one here.
Nope. That was interesting.
Priority shift.
He went for a full double kick. Nothing.
Obstacle. Potential
He's like the
interference.
Predator.
Resolution.
He's like the Predator.
Neutralize opposition.
Yeah. That rock got destroyed. Jesus. That is uncomfortable. Like, oh my, he could be anywhere. He really is. I like the shadows of the trees. It's interesting. This is crazy. Careful. I think you might be able to lift your hammer. I've never seen him use this much power, and he's just walking like nothing. Of course. Interesting choice of camera work there.
Accessing programming. Attempting to analyze your continued defiance.
This is no man we face. This is a machine.
Wow. Like I was able to let some people fly through him, or he flies through them. They're learning. They're learning how to fight him. I'm really curious about what exactly he's doing. What's the purpose of this? Seriously? Okay. Let's see what he does. I think is Hawkeye gonna find a way to actually beat him? Is that what they're gonna show us? Hawkeye can beat him. Ooh.
Oh, you're gonna pay for that.
Oh, that's wrong.
Probability of success, 99.999%.
Okay, there's a 0.111 repeating percent or whatever.
Have to stop.
Hammer did nothing.
You want my shield? Here it is!
Dang.
Increasing. Probability of mission success, 78%. Density controls online. Abort.
Your plan was
He almost got his head cut off.
I am returned. But my mission was a failure. The Avengers prevented me from completing my final objectives.
Failure is disappointing, but it matters little. The raw adamantium you acquired is ready for bonding. Soon, I will be indestructible.
Dude. There you guys have it. Behold the Vision. Really interesting. I should have known. I should have known that Ultron was still alive. I should have known that was the whole his I am my master's vision or whatever. I should have known it was Ultron. I'm thinking, I don't know. Because who knows what this show is going to do. Like, they followed some stuff from the comic books pretty much to a T with some, but I didn't know what direction they were going to go. I wasn't sure. Wow. They showed how strong Vision was. Now, for us, we know Vision isn't a person. We know Vision isn't, but the characters don't. They have no idea. So I like the fact they kept that mystery for the majority of the episode till Black Panther, used his, I guess, like, X-ray vision, whatever, on his suit, and he's able to actually see this is not a human, this is a robot, this is a machine. It's not, there's no way this is human. Who knows? Because the powers were so incredible. It could have been. Who knows? Because, we see Captain Marvel, or Miss Marvel, you get my point, Carol, we see how powerful she is, and so maybe it's possible. But I really like this episode. I like the fact that we got introduced to Vision just following orders. Like, he was created under Ultron, so it makes sense that that's his whole, like, why he was doing what he's doing. Why he wasn't choosing to do something better. He was just following his master's orders because he's his master's vision. He went for adamantium. Weapon X. They said Weapon X. They showed adamantium. He grabbed it. He also was going to Wakanda for the vibranium. And then he was looking for the shield. All for Ultron. That shot of Ultron, that was great. That was great. Now, what I liked so much about this is that Vision's dialogue was very machine-like. But it didn't feel to the point where it felt like too machine-y, if that's not even a word, but you get my point, like where it's so generic and boring. They were finding unique ways for it to sound. This is not how a human would talk, but not to the point where it's like, this is generic robot machine talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just sounds like a computer. Like, he was like, subject, Captain America. And then he was like, in progress. Like, certain things he was saying, I think it made it unique. It made it a unique approach to introduce the character. course, he goes to Wasp. Jan's there. They talk, of course, before he actually shows up. He actually comes, because we first introduced, he's fighting all those soldiers, sticking his hands through the walls. And then he does that again through the TV. I think they were watching Nosferatu or whatever, that vampire story. That is Dracula, but they had to change the name due to legal rights back when they made that film. They're watching, I guess, a version of that. And so he sticks his hands through, like when the vampire Nosferatu's on screen, he's able to get through. And he to the point, we need to know where the shield is. So they're in Wakanda getting the shield repaired, and Vision needs to go find it. He needs it, but then, of course, Jan tells him where it's like, don't tell me, you already gave it away. And then he destroys basically the part of the mansion where they're at because no obstacles. They were in the way. Make sure they're not in the way in the future, and they were not in the way for the rest of the episode in terms of his objective. He takes, of course, a Quinjet because he needs to get access to Wakanda. He can't just show up. So that was pretty smart on Vision's part. It makes a lot of sense. I like the fact, too, that they're in Wakanda and we're getting some information on how they're going to put the shield back together and how Cap said, it's one of the few things I have left. So it's very important to him that the shield is fixed because the Skrull Cap is using a like digital-ish shield that Tony made, thinking it was for a real Cap. So Cap's like, I need this shield. So and they tied it in. The way they were going to bring the shield and form it back together was the same way they turned the tide with the fight of Vision. So Vision shows up, and I love how Cap went in and did a flip and then a double kick, and he bounced right off Vision like it was nothing. It was so well done. I'm like, this is good. This is good stuff right here. And half the time, people are jumping through, and they're just going right through Vision, or other times he's grabbing them and throwing them, or it's not even phasing him. Times he'll fly through people. And that whole jungle sequence where he's like the Predator up in the freaking trees, scanning them, and then turning into Batman Arkham games where he's literally dropping down, suspending from like a tree or whatever, and pulling someone up, and then pulling someone away from the group. It's like he's freaking Batman right now, and he fights all of them in the forest. And I like the shadowy of the leaves and stuff and trees on the characters as he's doing this in the fighting. Thor using a lot of, I've never seen him use that much like power before, where literally there's lightning striking everywhere in Wakanda essentially. And of course it doesn't phase Vision at all. Like he just kept walking like nothing because it didn't affect him, because he's able to bypass that because he's his master's vision. He has all his abilities are incredible. And I was waiting for him to lift the hammer. He didn't lift the hammer. Now he picked up Thor in the air and was slamming him around with his hand that's holding the hammer, but he didn't actually hold it himself. I was waiting for that moment to happen. But we've already, maybe it would have came across as not as insane or not as what, because we've already saw Beta Ray Bill earlier this season do it. So maybe that's why they didn't do it. But we have all that going down, and then he goes to the vibranium, and then he goes for the shield. What I like is that after they find out he's a machine, all of a sudden they get a hit in. They get another hit in on Vision. The tide really turns in the cave leading up to the shield. But then we get to the shield, and his hand is in there to grab the shield, and then T'Challa turns it on. The machine goes off. The shield forms, and all of a sudden the skin, the exoskeleton is shown. And then I like is that right before this happens, Vision goes, percentage or whatever the percentage or whatever he phrased it of completing the task is 99.9%. He's gonna succeed. And then as he's getting hit over and over and over by different characters, he's saying it. He's lowering it down. He was down to 0.something%. Cap through his shield, and he able to disappear right at the last second. We got his head cut off. Interesting. Now, it's good to know that Wakanda, Black Panther, he was, well, it ties in Wakanda because the point I was trying to get to there, I was like, Wakanda, Black Panther, is that earlier in the episode, I knew he was going to come back to the Avengers. Maybe not, I don't know, because, Hank's not back. Hank is, original Ant-Man, he's gone. But I figured he would, T'Challa was like, hey, I need to protect my people. I'm their king. I need to be here. And the fact is that trust is broken, everything like that, understandable. Because the Skrull invasion, all that shit, it got bad. So understandable. So they're able to, now, they're all good now. Great. Working together as a team. So that's good. Vision didn't really fail, though, because Ultron still has enough to make an invulnerable suit, he says. But wait and see. I hope we see more of this, because I love that was the reveal. Now, maybe I should have seen it coming. I really should have seen it coming. But I was so entranced by how they were approaching this and how they introduced the Vision and how he's going for adamantium, vibranium, the shield specifically. I should have seen it coming. Should have, but I'm glad I got it in, because it made it even more. Because if I just figured, oh, Ultron's going to show up, I didn't even think about it at all until he popped up. Like, holy shit, it was such a good moment. The show is so good. And we're literally getting close to the end. This fucking sucks. But I really love the show. I'm loving the show. It kicks ass every episode. I cannot wait to see what they do next. But really enjoyed the episode. Vision was great. It was cool to see all these characters working together again. And finding a foe that at first it seemed it's impossible, but they found a way. So what'd you guys think of the episode? Behold the Vision. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, let me know in the comment section below, guys. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.